Welcome back to another reaction, this time for the anime The Holy Grail of Eris. The Holy Grail of Eris? Episode 1. No idea what this show is about. Could be a lot of different things. Could be comedy. No, probably not. Could be romance. Could be a drama. Could be isekai. I don't know. Let's see. I see a big bell which screams medieval. Ow. Ow. Better. St. Mark's Square. Okay. Medieval Market Square. Not a good start. Normally this is being followed by a hanging or burning at the stake. Let's hope it is different. Bonnie and Kate. This looks like a nightmare. I mean, bizarre. What is going on? I mean, we have some kind of beautiful lady on a podium that seemingly has done something. She's cursing everyone. I'm assuming they are she's seen as a witch. They did call her murderess. Now, I assume this would be an execution, but they have nothing to execute her. They don't have a stake where she could burn. They don't have a gallows to hang her. They don't have a place where they could behead her. So, what is this about? So they want to behead her. I would need to do some research. Normally, if you do that, you have like a stump or so where you know, more or less where the head is fixated on. So it's easier to do this. Not like this, because you can just move your head and then, you fail your job. Not even talking about, they call her murderess. That is grounds to behead, to be beheaded, I guess. How was beheading? Done, I guess. Beheading historically performed using an axe, sword, or guillotine. Okay, guillotine makes sense. Axes were used in England with a wooden block, while swords were commonly used in Saudi Arabia. The guillotine, axe, and the block. The condemned knelt, placing their neck on a wooden block. A skilled executioner used a heavy axe. Makes sense. The sword. The individual is often forced to kneel, with the executioner using a sharp sword to deliver. Okay, so this is one of the versions. Interesting. With the sword, they were forced to kneel and they just tried to do this. The whole point, as far as I know, is that you normally have like an executioner, and that executioner would also be more or less hidden behind a veil. And it's more or less the executioner was chosen to be, something like akin to a representation or stand in for someone to deliver God's punishment. Now, I'm more or less talking out of my arse here, but one of the main points is you have an executioner, and he is doing this over and over again so that you don't get more sinners. Because in the end, this is to reduce the amount of sinners. It doesn't really make sense having a new executioner every time. I don't really know where the executioner outfit, the mask they have, or the piece of cloth. I don't know where this came from. If that was something, if it has some meaning, if it's like, hey, it's not the person executing, being the executioner, it's like a stand-in, a faceless person, maybe, or maybe to protect the executioner. Don't really know. But this, okay. Totally fine. I assume there would be they would look a little bit different. We now have to find out why she was killed and what it has to do with the Holy Grail and Eris, because this was Conan, I don't know, and Kate. Oh, Holy Grail. Interesting. But who's Eris? So I assume the purple-eyed lady was Eris? What is an alien doing here?
ハームズワース子爵、ありがとうございます。運命の女神も君たちを祝福しているだろうね。なんせグレイル家のモットーは汝誠実たれだ。汝誠実たれか。事の発端は数ヶ月前。
A few months ago, you are now 16. I assume you are supposed to marry.
グレイル家の家訓、誠実を実践した父が莫大な借金を背負ってしまったのだ。
すまない、コニー。
借金の肩代わりを条件に、私はブロンソン商会の跡取り息子ニールとの婚約を結ぶことになった。
ニール・ブロンソンと申します。
Are you blushing?
恋愛結婚に憧れがなかったわけではないけれど。
Already have like this is a curse of having read and or watched a lot of these shows that are similar. This could go into the direction that he's a nice dude. They fall in love with each other. They, are like a pair, cool. or it could be going in the direction that he's an asshole. He is, outwardly he's a nice dude, but behind doors he's the worst of the worst. Could also be that the family, the Bronson family, that this is a tactical move. They want something from the Grail family that they can only get by this marriage.
地味でパッとしない私に彼みたいなハンサムで紳士的な人が夫になってくれるなんて。
Yeah, so he's an asshole. He is not a good guy.
妨害の幸せだ。そう思っていた。聞いたわよ。
Maybe he is, having like a bunch of concubines. He doesn't like her. He doesn't want anything to do with her. It's all just for show.
どこにあなたの婚約者のニール・ブロンソンって
Marlene Rees.
あのパメラ・フランシスと噂。
By the way, she's not plain looking. They're all good looking characters. I mean, it's anime. Which is interesting that anime doesn't really like to portray ugly people as much. Or let's say really plain looking people. It's more like, hey, we have the ones that are looking good, and then we have the ugly ones. And there's no, or rarely, in between.
になってる相手じゃないの。
Because she's looking good.
パメラ・フランシ
He's
ス。
looking good.
そう。
Uh-huh.
そう人目を忍んで抱き合ってるのを見た人がいるんですって。
I mean, is this your friend? Because she's like, oh, I heard about your, engagement and, but everyone is talking about your fiance being in the really close to another woman, and she's looking happy about that somehow. It's like, what are we doing? If she was a little bit, mad looking, it would be like, I heard he's fucking around and getting her the information, or being happy about that she got married or fiance to him, but then you wouldn't say this.
ですって。ニールは彼女にご就寝みたいよ。ねえケイト。ちょっとミレーヌ、また。
Kate Lorraine. Kate! This is the one we had at the beginning. And I do agree with her. I mean, it's just... Don't talk... How about you don't talk shit? Engaged too near... But everyone is talking about him and Pamela Francis. It's like... Unless this is a typical thing... Where it's like, he can have concubines, that is totally normal, acceptable, which could be the case.
またそんな根も葉もない噂を。いくらなんでも婚約したばかりなのにありえないでし
Unless he's an asshole, which he is.
ょ。さあどうかしら。パメラはね、舞踏会のダンスのようにくるくると男を変えるらしいわよ。あのね、あなたはもっと言葉を。
So there is most likely some reason they try to marry into the Grail family. I mean, they took in the debt. They formed this bond. There has to be something going on.
私はニールを信じてる。
Yeah, no.
今日だっていつものように優しかった。ニールとパメラ。見なかったことにしたい。結婚する事情が事情なだけに そこに愛なんてないのは最初から分かってた。
I mean, but you were hoping still?
それでも誠実に向き合わなきゃ。ちゃんと話し合わなきゃ。
I mean, you don't need to talk things out. I mean, in modern day time, you wouldn't need to. In this time, it's all about the family, and he has like that, and that is why you're doing this, which is already fucked up. The old times. The old times. Is this the
なんて
same
美しい人。
lady?
私コンスタンス
Let me guess, she's Eris? I'm just... Everyone is Eris.
グレイルと申します。失礼ですがご気分でも。楽しそうね。お入りにならないのですか？よろしいの？え、もちろんですよ。
Is she a vampire? Is she a vampire? Is she a vampire? Why won't you come inside? She's a vampire. She also looks very similar to the woman at the beginning, because I don't believe it was as much in Western vampire lore, but in Eastern vampire lore, I believe it's like they are not allowed to go inside your home unless you invite them. And they are supposed to be very OCD. Or not OCD, but they can't stop counting. If you drop a bunch of little beans, they start counting the beans. I don't know how much that is real. But I did hear you need to invite them to get inside. So this is an invitation. So you are a vampire. Right?
もちろんですよ。入れた。
He's a vampire.
お前、礼を言う。
Are you a nice vampire? Because this this sounds like, oh, you have my gratitude, girl. Oh, I'm in. Thank you, girl. And now everyone dies.
お前？
Okay. Everyone's still alive.
ニールにどうやって。
So I assume this is a ball for her or of her family. That is why this invitation worked for the vampire. I'm gonna stick with that, as long as they don't explain that. But it had a little bit, if this was a little bit darker show, they would all be dead.
話そう。ご婚約おめでとうございます。ありがとうございます。
Wow. Wow. Again, in modern day, there is nothing to talk about. You just go, leave. You don't say anything, you pack your stuff, or you exchange the locks depending on what whose apartment or whatever it is. There's no discussion here. It is the day of your engagement or the party of your engagement, and he is out there cuddling another woman. Yeah, no. Unless that woman turns out to be his mom, but even then, that is very weird. So, you know. However, the old times, you do this for your stupid ass father. I assume you have to do that so you can keep your rank as noble.
この子って。
Biggest problem for me is that the father was able to rack up all this debt. He's going to do that again.
確か パメラとよく一緒にいた。ブレンダ、あなた髪飾りが取れそうよ。いっそのこと取ってしまえばどうかしら。
Oh, she is the bitch. Okay.
ええ、そうするわ。
Because Brenda is always around her, and I assume that she is the one that is messing with Brenda, because they are friends.
はい、これで大丈夫。
Mhm.
私、ポーチを2階に置いてきてしまって、取ってくるからそれまで。
Oh, are you kidding me? So she's going to go away, she's coming back, and she's going to say, you stole my hairpin. And she's going to be like, no, you told me to hold on to it. So you're calling me a liar.
髪飾りを持っていてもらえるかしら。ええ、もちろん。お安いご用よ。
Yeah.
ブレンダ、まだかな。
コンスタンス・グレイル、あなたとんでもないことをしてくれたわね。
パメラ、ニール。
あなたの家が大変なのは知っているわ。だからといってこれはやりすぎではなくて、正直品性を疑うわ。
何の話？
あら、とぼけるつもり？でも無駄よ。あなたブレンダの髪飾りを盗んだでしょ。聞いたのよ。あなたに髪のほつれを直してもらったすぐ後に希少な髪飾りがなくなっていたそうよ。ねえコンスタンス・グレイル、そのことについてあなたはどう思って？
どうって。
お金に困ってる人にとっては喉から手が出るくらい欲しいものよね。気持ちは痛いほどわかるわ。あなたのお家のかわいそうな事情はよく知ってるもの。
私はブレンダに頼まれて。
ならそのポーチを見せなさい。盗んでないのなら見せられるはずよね。
コンスタンス、君まさか。
あらやだ。ねえ、これは一体どういうことかしら。きちんとご説明いただける？
ブレンダから頼まれたのよ。
わざわざ持っていてと頼まれたの？大して親しくもないあなたが？それは随分と不思議な話ね。
お願い言って。あなたが私に頼んだのよね。ポーチを取りに行く間預かってほしいって。そうよね。どうして黙ってるのブレンダ。ねえブレンダってば。
言い訳は見苦しいわよ。かわいそうにブレンダったら怯えているじゃない。いいのよブレンダ、何も言わなくていいの。ほら見たでしょニール。
I mean, it was clear this is the direction this is going. In my opinion, it is done bad. It is just done bad. The whole situation is bad. The whole point of her stealing her brooch makes no sense in all the context, because this people know this engagement only happened because Nia's family takes over the debt and pays it off. So there's no real, oh, you need money, so you steal the stuff. That already is a very weak explanation. Second, she did explain that she held on to the brooch for Brenda. Now, Brenda did not deny that, which again makes, the point very weak, because if that was not the truth and it got stolen, Brenda would react a specific way. Additionally, Pamela has a certain... People know what she's doing. She's seemingly wandering from man to man. This is probably not the first time she does this. So people know her MO. She does not have the... People are less likely to believe her, even if she was right, just because she has a negative... Her whole name has a negative connotation. So there are a lot of things that are here that don't really make sense if you really, look at it, because why would she steal the brooch if she could steal something else? There's a lot of other stuff you could steal. Why would she only steal the brooch instead of all the, other objects? It is very weak, very badly done.
コンスタンスはこういう女なの。すぐにでも婚約の異議申し立てをすべきだわ。これはれっきとした犯罪行為よ。結婚なんてしたらブロンソン商会の信用に関わるもの。
だが盗んだ証拠もないのに。
証拠そんなのここにいる人みんなが証人になるじゃない。あ、そうだわ。聖職者のハームズワース子爵もいらっしゃったわね。なんなら今申し立てをしてしまえばいいのよ。違う、私は盗んだりなんて。何時誠実たれ。何が誠実のグレイルよ。あなたなんてただの泥棒じゃないの。
Additionally, she's in this position. She should just try to stand her ground. She did not steal it. She held on to it. There's no proof she ever stole it. There's no witness she ever stole it, even though, and that is one of the main parts. You have a whole room full of people, and no one else was able to witness her stealing the brooch, which makes it very weak. It is a very weak leg to stand on. She's like, oh, all of these are witnesses to nothing. They have witnessed nothing. They have witnessed you saying she stole it, finding the brooch on her, that you have not really proven that this brooch is even Brenda's to begin with. So it's more or less, you are saying one thing, she's saying one thing. You need some witnesses that saw her stole the brooch. She should not rely on him at all. Because now she's 16, she doesn't know. No one is going to stick their head out for you. Not even talking about that Pamela stole her purse, which... Not how you do this.
誰か助けていいわよ。
Vampire lady?
助けてあげる。
Vampire lady?
この声。でもその代わり。
Whoa, what do you mean? I was like, maybe she's helping her because she let her in? I'm assuming it's the same. Could be the woman at the beginning, who knows? Become a vampire. Oh. So I'm assuming that is not the same lady. Maybe different ladies. Very similar looking. What I assume is, in exchange, you need to give your body to her.
泥棒ねえ一体どちらが泥棒なのかしらね。
コンスタンス・グレイル、誠実なんていう世まいごとを堂々とひけらかす昔から気に食わない女。なのに婚約者はあのニール・ブロンソン。どうしてあの女ばかりが優遇されるの？見た目も家の資産も私よりずっと下のくせに。
What are you talking about? If you wanted Neil, you could have gotten him. But you never wanted. So you have the problem, whoever she gets engaged to, you are going to get in between them because you can't stomach her to be a normal human person. Not everyone is as ugly as you. Deal with it.
だからブレンダーを使ってお前を潰すことに決めたというのに。泥棒ってどういう意味かしら。そんな言いがかり聞き捨てな。
I also don't know why Brenda even agreed to all this bullshit. Straight up. I mean, she is saying that her family has money and she has the looks. I don't really know why Brenda accepted.
ご存知？あなたが茂みではしたなく腰を振っていたお相手は私の婚約者様なのよ。
Again, she has a bad name. Now, she could say, oh, she didn't do that, but everyone knows. There's not a lot going on. This is like the fantasy middle age. There's a reason why everyone was, gathering around with the execution, because there's nothing going on. As soon as you hear a little glimpse of a rumor, this is going to spread.
そんなことしてないわ。ニールとは口づけをしていた。
Why would you say that? Are you fucking stupid? Sorry. You are. Well, the question answered itself.
パメラ
Which naturally brings Neil also back down. He has no bad name. One moment. Reputation. I don't know why I was missing that word, but his reputation is going to be dragged down as well. And again, they know the rumors. Whatever you say, the rumors were always in the back of their head. And now you have proven them true. Good job.
あらやだ、言い間違えたみたい。あなたはただ口づけをしていただけだった。
On the day where we celebrate the engagement as well.
ね、他人の婚約者様。でもそれって立派な泥棒でなくて。
それでもあなたがブレンダの髪飾りを盗んだ事実は変わらないわ。
そう。ねえ、そこの。ちょっと待って。今記憶をたどるから。そう、ウェイン。
Oh. Interesting. Now, did Connie know the name whenever she looked at him, or is this just in the recess of her memory that she now pulled out?
ウェイン・ヘイスティング。あなた、見ていたわね。
僕は
そう、言いたくないのなら結構よ。けれど気をつけることね。あなた以外にも真実を知る者はたくさんいてよ。私、こう見えて記憶力がとってもいいの。スタン子爵夫人にブロア男爵令嬢、それにペラム子爵もいたわね。
Knight Pelham, huh? Good knight. Not standing up for what is right?
あとは、この子は名前を知らないみたいだけど、
レモン色のドレスのあなた、4人ともあの時こちらをご覧になっていたね。いいわよ皆様、何もおっしゃらなくて大いに結構。ただね、私煩わしいのが大嫌いなの。だからもう一度聞くわよ。ウェイ・ヘイスティング、下を向いていないで私を見なさい。よくできたわね。ねえウェイ、あなたはどう思って？例えば無実の人間を冤罪に陥れるのは許されることなのかしら。その事実を知りながら保身のために沈黙を選ぶ人間は。
I don't really know why you would not say anything in this case. It's not like this is in other versions. It would be like the prince saying someone did something. Then I could understand, don't go against the prince, against royalty, sure. But she's just a bitch in heat. You can go against her, who cares?
私はね、こう思うの。そんな人間は地獄に落ちるだろうし、見て見ぬふりをしていた者も同罪だって。ねえウェイ、想像してみて。もしも真実がつまびらかになった時、あなたがどんな立場になってどんな風に噂されてしまうのかしら。こちらを見なさい。私から目をそらすなんて許さなくてよ。
Medusa? I do like naturally. She's very confident, which is very nice. I do like that she is always reminding him, look at me. You know, that has a lot of pressure on him if he's not allowed to look away. And I'm assuming he's going to cave.
見た。僕見ました。ミス・グレイルは盗んでない。ただブレンダの乱れた髪を直してあげただけだ。
Now, previously, what Pamela could have done is be like, oh, they are accomplices, or they are together, some kind of bullshit. But with her reputation now being in the gutter, it's going to be very hard.
それにブレンダは髪飾りを預かってほしいって言ったんだ。
私も聞きました。私も見ていたわ。私も。
その子の言う通りだ。
The old man should shut up. He's the only one where I could not understand him not standing up for Connie. The little guy, I mean, he's young. Sure, the woman, I can see that somewhat. Woman, you know, they seem to get together, if that is like a medieval thing. And you don't want to be excluded from these woman-only meetings, which could happen if you go against her, maybe. So I can understand that, but the knight dude should have just, you know, stood still, went out, be like, this is not what happened. Because he's the one that has the least to lose.
本当なのか、カメラ。
What are you coming in here? Shut up.
違うのよ。だってブレンダが。そうだわ。ブレンダが私に嘘を。かわいそうに。ブレンだったら怯えているじゃない。いいのよ、ブレンダ。何も言わなくていいの。
I mean, same.
おや、これは一体何の。
Oh, this is the Hemsworth, huh? Now this is going to be interesting because she was like, oh, you can tell Hemsworth about this. Which made it sound like that there may be a connection. And he may be on her side. So we will see. But, you know, Pamela and Neil both are gone because you need 2 people to dance tango, and he was also kissing her. It's not a one-sided position.
騒ぎかな。
やだ、成金豚だわ。
爵、実は。
なるほど。災難だったね、グレイル城。
I can't see him as anything but a yellow alien, so.
とっても。あまりの仕打ちに女神の慈悲にすがりたいのですが、ご相談に乗っていただいても。
それは婚約の異議申し立てということかね。
受理されるでしょうか。
もう公示されてしまっているからすぐには難しいだろうね。相手方の言い分もあるし、しかるべき場所で。
そんなこと私の知ったことではないわ。
おう。
ご託はいいからさっさとこの婚約を無効にしてきなさい。このグズが。
Is he mad or did he like that?
さもなければ今宵このグランメリルアンで行われたドミニク・ハームズワース主催の夜会は崇高なる王家の庭で男女が入り乱れいかがわしいことをするものだったと、どんな手を使ってでも国王陛下の耳まで届くようにしてやるわ。この女は誰なの？こんなコンスタンス・グレイルを私は知らない。紳士淑女の皆様方、この素晴らしい場に水を差してしまったこと心よりお詫びいたしますわ。道ならぬ恋に燃える若き男女にどうか祝福を。それでは皆様、ごめんあそばせ。ちょっと待って、
私ね、グレイル城のこと歓迎していたのよ。だからあなたのやったことちょっと腹立たしいわ
If
ね。
you
ねえ、知ってる？私の故郷ではね、盗人は焼けた靴を履かされて死ぬまで踊り続けるのよ。
ああ、始まった。10年ぶりだ。
どのくらい持つかしらね、あの子たち。それにしてもコンスタンスには驚いた。あれはまるでスカーレット・カスティエルが地獄の底から舞い戻ってきたみたいだ。
You know, there is, even if I don't like her, this is stupid because this is not a punishment. This is not a just punishment. This is just to entertain all these idiots that do not deserve to be entertained. It's not that they did anything. They just stood there and they were not on anyone's side. They did not try to be impartial. They were just there for entertainment. So they do not deserve anything out of this. So this punishment, even if you want to call it somewhat satisfying, not really satisfying at all. Because the only ones that got to enjoy it are the people that do not deserve. The only thing they deserve is the same punishment. They should all dance around like her. So it was her. The same person, okay?
やっと起きたのね、コンスタンス・グレイル。
In this case, you just turn the other way and just ignore it.
どういうこと？何言ってるのよ。お前まだ寝ぼけているわけ？どちら様でしょうか？
私はスカーレット・カスティエルよ。
I feel like she got executed for unjust reasons, if I had to guess.
いやいやいや、嘘ですよね。スカーレット・カスティエルは10年前に処刑されて。
やだお前、まさか私が生きているように見えるの？
So not a vampire?
そんな。スカーレット・カスティエルといえば希代の悪女。恋敵だったセシリア子爵令嬢の毒殺まで企てて、あのグランメリルアンでエンリケ王太子殿下に罪を糾弾され、婚約を破棄されたばかりか、あまりの非道な振る舞いから10年前に処刑されたっていう。
So that is the typical way one of these villainous stories would start. However, most of these typical starts are, you know, they are not true most of the time. Most of the time, it's the person besides the prince that did all of these things and pushed all the blame on her in this case. Now we will see, because she doesn't really have a reason to lie, if that is all true or not.
ずいぶんな言われようね。自分が処刑された日のことなんてちっとも覚えてないけれど、昨日いたグランメリルアンは間抜けなエンリケと腹黒セシリアに屈辱を味わわされた場所なのよ。今思い出しても腹立たしいわ。
So scheming, Cecilia. So the assumption is that most of what was said about Scarlet was fabricated.
王子に向かってそんな不敬な。それに王太子妃が腹黒。
とにかく気づいたらあそこにいたけれど。
I also assumed this would be like 100 years ago or so. We can't really take revenge, but this was only like 10 years ago. So we can take revenge. So it's a revenge story.
どうしてか広間にいたけれど、どうしてか広間には入れなかったのよね。中に入れたのはきっとお前のおかげなんでしょうね。
Okay, and what did you do?
私
Why did you want to go in there?
の存在に気がついたのはお前が初めてだったのだから。
I would notice you.
お前は地味でパッとしなくて特に取り柄もないようだけれど、私に気がついたことだけは存分に誇ってよくってよ。
ちょっと言い過ぎかな。でもなんだって我が家に？
だってまだ対価をもらってないもの。
対価？
あら忘れちゃったの？対価もなしに赤の他人を助けるわけがないでしょ。
I mean, she did allow you to go inside. That should count for something.
いいわよ。
And I'm assuming she wants her to help with her revenge.
助けてあげる。でもその代わりにいいこと、コンスタンス・グレイル。お前のこれからの人生をかけて私の復讐を成功させなさい。
復讐？
I mean, for that, we generally would need to know what happened, all the facts, maybe pretty please. But I can assume that as she was explaining, Cecilia got close to the prince, was whispering some lies to him, and as it is in this scenario, if the prince is telling everyone that Scarlet tried to poison Cecilia, what can she say? She can say no, and everyone is like, yeah, that is what you would say, but that is probably a lie, and you can't really prove that it is not a lie. So, you know, you have the problem there. I do wonder what they meant with she behaved monstrously after. Did not have an opening, right? No, okay. We're not gonna look at the ending. Is there anything? No. Holy Grail of Eris. Now this is still, so we have Grail family. Holy, I guess? But who's Eris? That part of the name doesn't really work. We have Scarlet, we have Connie. We have Cecilia. We don't have any Eris at this point. So far, I really did not like how this was initiated. I felt like this was very weak. Especially knowing that we had the knight over here be able to dispel this, and he did not. It was very weak. They all didn't want to say anything against the knight is the one I can excuse the least, because he has nothing to lose, or not as much as the other ones potentially, to stand up for someone. They just stood there for entertainment, and this is like, all of these deserve nothing more than punishment, because they were also the ones that were happy about seeing her dying. So typical aristocracy, whatever. But so far, I felt it was not bad. Not bad. We will see how it goes.